Hi, thanks for watching The Freedom Habit. I'm Boyd, and I was just going to talk today about a few things here. For one, manifestation is not some kind of magical thing that we make happen from the outside in. It has to start internally, and the external can never validate it. The 3D world cannot validate us. We have to give ourselves validation through our beliefs, through our thoughts, through our self concept, through our self identity. And that is what manifestation is, just being. When we're being that person, when we're being the person who has those things, being the person who believes they're deserving and worthy of those things, whatever that might be, it's more important about who we become and who we're being than what we're trying to get, whether it's an SP or a new job or whatever. So it's imperative that we keep our it's imperative that we keep our focus on what we want, not on what we don't want. So many of us, even during manifestation and when we're trying to, whatever it is, get more money or manifest a relationship or something, we think about the things we don't want. So half the time our minds are on like, well, I hope this doesn't happen. Well, if this happens, that's going to really mess this up. Can't believe I got this bill in the mail. I thought I was going to be making more money, and now all of a sudden I made a little bit more, and now I got a bill, an unexpected bill. The 3D is going to do that to you. That's just part of it. And, we need to overcome our old selves. We need to overcome those old egos, that old self identity. We need to overcome all the limiting self beliefs that we've built over the years, that people instilled in us throughout the years, our parents, our teachers, our siblings, ourselves. We collect evidence as the years go on of, yeah, well, I did something similar to this before and it didn't work out, so it probably won't work out this time. And then we end up just repeating the same cycles throughout our lives because we don't believe that it's possible for us. Well, I tried that before and it didn't work out. Well, it doesn't mean it's not going to work out this time. And the thing is that if if you give it to yourself internally and don't question it and don't doubt it and don't keep constantly looking for it in the 3D world, where is it? Where is it? Well, as soon as you're looking for it, you're admitting you don't have it. And the whole point is being the person who is able to have it. And unless you believe that it's yours already, you could believe it's on the way if you want, I guess, but know that it's yours. Know that it belongs to you. Like even beyond belief, knowing is so important. Also, we have a new free PDF that you can get. Just go down below. We have a new store. It's called Stand Store. So check out our store. There's books in there. There's free PDFs. And you can also sign up for a coaching session. Yeah, perceive the world as you want it to be. Even if you have to rewrite what actually happened. Like if you have a interaction with somebody and they treat you badly, instead of focusing on like, wow, I can't believe they talked to me like that. That was really rude. Just go, hey, it's not a big deal. Do it in your head and even make up a story of how they treated you nice, even if it's not true. Or just release it and go like, somebody must have been mean to them, so they were being mean to me. Whatever it takes. We need to re-script, rewrite like old situations. And I think as we do that, we let other people off the hook and we let ourselves off the hook because then we're not sitting around thinking the world's against us. If we view the world as against us and other people as against us and question ourselves, even like half the time we're against ourselves before we even begin a project. If there's a part of you going like, oh, I don't know, should I even do this? Like if you're thinking like that, I mean, it's over already because you're being double-minded and you can't serve two masters, you know? So it's really important to be aware of what your thoughts and emotions are. And the thing is, even though it's important to be aware of your thoughts and emotions, it doesn't mean that they control you. Just be aware of them so you could override them. You know, if your emotions making you feel negative or fearful or anxious or angry, you can once again rewrite that script. Tell yourself things are working out. Don't change your mind no matter what 3D throws at you. Go, hey, things always work out in my favor. The universe is always working in my favor. People are on my side. There's people out there right now I don't even know about working in my favor. And when we start believing like that, start living like that, that's the thing too, man. We got to like walk in that daily, think like that daily, wake up in the morning. You know, that's a time where a lot of people are depressed or get anxious is when we first wake up because cortisol kicks in to help us um, get into the beta mode, the thinking, working mode of our brain. And cortisol makes us worry. So we start running things through our head about, could be anything, about what's going to happen at work today, about being sick, about worrying about somebody else who's not feeling good, like one of your kids, or your parents, or something. And instead of focusing on that, see them as healthy, see them as healed, see yourself as always in well-being, that you have wellness and health. Even if you're not feeling good, tell yourself that, believe that, believe that. And you could say, well, that's just being pretentious or that's just being delusional. But it's no more delusional to think good things than it is to think about bad things that might happen before they happen. And how many times have we worried and worried and worried and got ourselves all up in a frantic mode, worrying about something that didn't even happen? But we don't think that's delusional. No, that's just normal. We're supposed to do that. Why can't we think, oh, it's going to work out? Everything's working out for me. My business is doing great. Tell yourself that. Tell other people that. They'll probably look at you like you're crazy. You know, expect to have a good day. Expect to have a nice life. And it really starts with our internal view of ourselves and the world around us. Yeah, so give yourself what you're looking for internally. And once you do that and you don't let go, that you keep believing that you have it, you keep believing that you are that person, it will be revealed to you externally eventually. It might take a little bit of time. You know, I didn't come upon the law of attraction or learn about the law of attraction until I was 61 years old. So I have a lot of old baggage there, that, you know, a lot of evidence to the contrary, that things aren't going to work out. So my mind can dig up something from 50 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever, and throw that in my face and say, well, why should you believe that? Why should you believe this is going to work out? That didn't work out. But you got to override that. You got to choose to be a different person. But that old ego, that old version of you will pop up, will try to take you back to safety, because that's what they think safety is. That's what your ego thinks safety is just living the same life over and over and over again, not taking any risks, believing the same old thing that you've believed since you were 5. That's what our egos want. They don't want us to change. And once they realize that we're actually changing and we're kind of like eliminating them from our lives, or at least taking away their power, the ego does not like that, and it'll act up and do whatever it can to try to drag you back to where it thinks you're safe, because that's its job. It's also really important to meditate, visualize, do any of these methods or techniques, not to get something, but to become someone, to become the best version of yourself, to become the person you were always meant to be. When we do it like that, that is a pure form of actual change. We really want to change. We want to change our identity. We want to change our self-concept. And when we do that, it actually will hold. Because you can manifest things like and like money and then lose it again. Because if you didn't change your identity and all you did was say a bunch of robotic affirmations, you might get what you're saying that you want. But if you didn't change your identity on the inside to believe that you're a person worthy of having that, then you might get that money and it might be gone in a month and you're back to square one. So it's really important that we change who we actually are, and that is much more important than what we get. Take things off the pedestal. If money's on a pedestal, if a certain woman's on a pedestal, certain jobs on a pedestal, any of that thing. When you do that, it's like a false idol. It's putting something above yourself and above God, and God lives in us. The kingdom of heaven is within. So we need to take things off of a pedestal, because the more we want something and the bigger we make a big deal out of getting it, the more you're going to run it off, the more attached you are to it. And when you're attached, it tends to not work out. You kind of, it almost is like scaring off the thing you're hoping to get. Man, it's hot. I'm like really sweating here. So you are all there is. You're competent. You're confident. You're courageous. You're love. You're abundant. And so am I. Have a great day.